A faint distress call echoed across the galaxy, and no one expected humanity to answer like that. The humans had changed the galaxy forever, proving that courage, intelligence, and determination can defy all odds. If you want to see more epic stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. A faint signal traveled across the endless darkness of space, barely detectable by the most sensitive instruments. It was old, ancient even, pulsing with a rhythm that suggested someone, somewhere, had been trying to call for help for centuries. The Galactic Council, a massive organization of powerful alien civilizations, intercepted the signal and quickly dismissed it as unimportant. They had encountered countless dying planets and fading species before, and most of the time, no one survived. It was routine for them to ignore such calls, expecting only failure and death. But on Earth, things were different. In a small laboratory buried beneath layers of secrecy, a team of human scientists noticed the anomaly. They stared at the screens, puzzled by the repeating pattern that didn't match any known cosmic phenomena. The signal was structured, purposeful, like a message crafted to be understood by those who were willing to pay attention. Debates erupted among the researchers about whether it was worth investigating. Some argued that humans were too small and weak to respond to something so far away, while others believed this was a chance to prove humanity could reach beyond its limits. The argument was heated, full of passion and determination. Finally, a decision was made, and a small group of engineers, strategists, and astrophysicists began secretly working on a plan. They knew the Galactic Council would never allow humans to intervene openly, so everything had to be done quietly. Every night, they pored over star charts, analyzing routes, distances, and hazards. They calculated the energy required to reach the source, the time it would take, and the possible dangers they might face. Their minds raced with possibilities, and their hearts beat faster at the thought of venturing into the unknown. Meanwhile, far away in the vast chambers of the Galactic Council, the leaders continued their debates. Underestimating humanity had become second nature. They laughed at the idea that humans might respond in any meaningful way. Humans were unpredictable, chaotic, and weak in comparison to the Council's fleets. They assumed that even if Earth tried, it would fail before reaching the distress signal. They continued with their plans to monitor the signal, expecting nothing more than a brief flicker of activity, and then silence. Back on Earth, the team of humans continued preparations, turning every city, every lab, and every spaceport into part of a hidden network ready to act. They shared their findings with a trusted few, each person contributing knowledge, resources, and time. The signal became their obsession, a silent voice across the stars that demanded action. They worked not just with technology, but with creativity, devising ways to overcome obstacles that no one had attempted before. They trained their minds and bodies, rehearsing strategies, imagining every scenario, even the impossible ones. As days turned into weeks, the signal grew stronger, almost as if it could sense the humans' attention. The message was simple yet urgent, a plea for help from a civilization on the brink of collapse. The humans studied it carefully, deciphering its meaning, and realized the importance of responding quickly. It was more than a scientific challenge. It was a test of courage, intelligence, and humanity's willingness to act when no one else would. Every detail mattered. Every calculation could decide success or failure, and the team felt the weight of responsibility heavier than anything they had faced before. Despite the uncertainty and fear, excitement thrummed through the team. They imagined crossing the void, reaching the source of the call, and seeing what no one else had seen for centuries. The signal was a beacon of hope in a universe that had long grown indifferent, and humans were determined to answer, not as pawns of the Council, not as observers of fate, but as creators of change. They knew their actions could surprise the galaxy, shake assumptions, and show that even the smallest planet could reach across the stars. Every night, as the team worked tirelessly, they felt a strange connection to the distant civilization, a silent promise that help was coming. The signal echoed through their minds, a rhythm that matched their own heartbeat. It reminded them that even in the vast emptiness of space, no voice should go unheard, and no life was too small to make a difference. Humans prepared to respond, quietly, intelligently, and boldly, unaware that their determination would soon rewrite what the galaxy thought possible. The signal had been heard, and humanity was ready to answer. The Galactic Council convened in a massive chamber suspended in orbit around a dying star, their voices echoing through crystal halls as they debated the mysterious signal from the distant reaches of space. Most council members were arrogant, certain that the humans would never respond in any meaningful way. They called Earth a tiny, chaotic world, primitive and reckless, a species too unpredictable to ever matter in galactic affairs. Yet some voices wondered whether ignoring the call completely might be dangerous. Even a small act of defiance by humans could cause unexpected consequences. But the majority laughed, dismissing such ideas with ease. They discussed surveillance strategies, deciding to watch Earth silently rather than risk direct contact. Every member believed they could predict humanity's actions, calculating probabilities based on centuries of observing weaker species. They underestimated the human ability to think creatively, improvise, and act unpredictably. The Council's leaders were proud of their fleets, massive ships armed with weapons that could destroy planets. They assumed this power alone guaranteed control, and that no human effort could threaten them. Meanwhile, on Earth, humans were already moving, unaware of the Council's silent observation. Scientists and strategists worked together in hidden labs, piecing together advanced propulsion systems, energy shields, and AI-assisted navigation. They created simulations to prepare for every possible scenario, imagining what the Council might do if humans left the planet. They studied the signal constantly, trying to understand the urgency behind it, and planning their journey to respond with speed and precision. Every calculation, every decision was made to stay one step ahead. Humans were not reckless. They were deliberate, determined, and unstoppable once they set their minds to a goal. As the Council monitored, they grew frustrated, realizing humans were taking action, but still confident that failure was inevitable. They sent scouts and observers, hoping to gather information, but the humans were clever, masking their movements, hiding resources, and coordinating with secrecy that even the Council had not expected. The alien observers noted the humans' resilience, their ingenuity, and their stubborn will, and slowly, unease crept into the hearts of some Council members, a feeling they were not used to experiencing. On Earth, preparation was more than technical work. It became a test of human spirit. A fleet was being readied in secret, ships small enough to be undetectable, yet powerful enough to survive extreme hazards. Engineers experimented with new propulsion methods, allowing humans to traverse light years faster than anyone thought possible. They devised defensive systems to protect themselves from hostile encounters, and offensive strategies to outmaneuver threats. Each human involved felt the weight of responsibility, knowing that no one else in the galaxy expected them to succeed, but their courage grew with every challenge. The Council convened again, debating whether to intervene directly. They feared that allowing humans to respond freely might embarrass them, undermine centuries of authority, and reveal flaws in their control. But the more they debated, the more the humans progressed. Every calculation the Council made was challenged by the unpredictable speed and intelligence of human preparation. They realized too late that the humans were not waiting for permission. They were acting on their own initiative, driven by something no machine or strategy could fully predict: determination, creativity, and a refusal to accept limits. As the humans completed simulations and finalized their fleet, excitement and tension coexisted. They knew the journey would be dangerous, that unknown civilizations or cosmic hazards might await them. But they also understood that hesitation could mean losing the chance to save lives. The signal was no longer just a message. It was a mission, a call to prove that humans could act when no one else dared. Every ship, every system, every member of the team was aligned with one goal: responding to the call, showing that humanity could achieve what the Council assumed impossible. From their distant observation points, the Council members could only watch, increasingly aware that they had underestimated Earth. Humans were planning, preparing, and moving with precision. Yet they remained confident in their power, refusing to fully acknowledge that the humans might succeed. They assumed Earth would fail, that this small species could never match galactic fleets or advanced alien tactics, and that the signal would eventually go unanswered. But they were about to discover that humans were unpredictable, relentless, and ready to act in ways no one could anticipate. Humanity's preparations continued day and night. The signal pulsed through their instruments, a reminder of the lives depending on their success. Every scientist, engineer, and strategist felt a connection to that distant call and a determination to answer it. Humans were ready to step into the unknown, not as observers of the galaxy, but as active participants, capable of rewriting expectations and proving that even a small, underestimated species could achieve greatness. The Council had watched for now, but they had yet to see what humans were truly capable of. On Earth, preparations for the mission moved faster than anyone could have imagined. The humans working on the project were not just scientists or engineers. They were visionaries, strategists, and problem solvers, determined to turn an impossible task into reality. Every day brought new challenges, from calculating faster-than-light travel to designing ships that could survive hostile environments. They studied cosmic radiation, gravitational anomalies, and unknown hazards, leaving nothing to chance. Their laboratories buzzed with activity, computers analyzing millions of possibilities, while human minds adapted, created, and improvised solutions that had never been attempted before. Engineers built prototypes for the fleet, small enough to evade detection, yet equipped with advanced weaponry and shielding. Each ship was carefully designed to handle extreme speeds, maneuver through asteroid fields, and resist attacks from unknown forces. AI systems were integrated to provide instant tactical analysis, allowing humans to make decisions faster than any alien technology could predict. Every aspect of the fleet was planned with precision, but humans also prepared for the unpredictable, designing ships that could adapt to situations that no simulation could fully replicate. Training became a daily ritual, not just for the crew, but for every person involved. Teams practiced simulated missions, responding to sudden threats, unexpected attacks, and impossible scenarios. They learned to think and act as one, synchronizing movements, decisions, and strategies. Humans were not just following instructions, they were learning to improvise, turning every obstacle into an opportunity. The more they trained, the more they realized that their strength was not only in technology, but in creativity, intuition, and teamwork, qualities no machine or alien fleet could replicate. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council continued to observe, growing increasingly uneasy. They had assumed humans would struggle with logistics, technology, or planning, but the Earth team exceeded every expectation. Every calculation made by the Council seemed irrelevant, as humans developed solutions no one thought possible. Observers noted how quickly humans learned from mistakes, adapted strategies, and even improved systems in real time. Their resilience and determination were unlike anything the Council had ever faced, and doubt began to creep into the minds of even the most confident members. On Earth, the team studied the distress signal, decoding its patterns, rhythms, and hidden information. They discovered clues about the civilization in danger, its technology, and the potential threats along the route. Every piece of data was valuable, and they integrated it into the fleet's strategy, ensuring that when they arrived, they would be prepared for any challenge. Scientists created models to predict environmental hazards, orbital patterns, and unknown defenses, turning uncertainty into manageable risks. Each discovery made humans more confident, knowing that preparation and intelligence could overcome the unknown. Energy management became a critical focus, as faster-than-light travel required immense power. Humans developed new energy cores, capable of sustaining long journeys and intense maneuvers. Engineers tested every system repeatedly, pushing them beyond normal limits to ensure reliability. Backup systems were designed for every possible failure, ensuring the fleet could continue even under extreme conditions. Humans combined old-fashioned ingenuity with cutting-edge technology, blending practical problem-solving with theoretical science, creating a synergy that no alien observer could fully comprehend. And the psychological aspect of the mission was just as important. Humans prepared for isolation, high-stress scenarios, and potential encounters with hostile forces. Crew members trained their minds to stay calm, focused, and adaptable, developing strategies to overcome fear and fatigue. Teamwork was reinforced, trust built through shared experiences and relentless preparation. Every human involved understood that success depended not just on machines, but on courage, communication, and determination, qualities that would define humanity's advantage over any alien force. As the fleet neared readiness, excitement and anticipation filled the hidden bases. The mission had become more than a response to a signal. It was a test of human potential, a chance to show that even a small species could achieve what larger, more experienced civilizations dismissed as impossible. Every engineer, scientist, and strategist felt the weight of responsibility, but also a growing sense of pride, knowing that their work could change the galaxy's perception of Earth. The fleet represented humanity's ingenuity, resilience, and willingness to act when others hesitated. Finally, the day came when the fleet was ready for launch. Systems checked, routes planned, crews prepared. Humans had built ships capable of traveling light years, responding to unknown threats, and adapting to circumstances beyond imagination. Every simulation, every test, every sleepless night had prepared them for this moment. The Galactic Council watched in silence, astonished, realizing that humans were about to step into the void, not as observers, but as active participants, capable of rewriting the rules of engagement. The fleet was ready, and humanity's bold journey into the unknown was about to begin. When the time finally came, humans launched their fleet into the vast emptiness of space. Ships glided silently through the darkness, engines glowing faintly, carrying crews who had trained for years. Every movement was calculated, every maneuver precise, yet the humans retained flexibility to adapt to the unknown. They did not rush recklessly, but moved with purpose, balancing speed with caution, while keeping the goal of reaching the distress signal at the forefront of their minds. Each vessel operated in harmony with the others, communicating instantly through encrypted channels, responding to threats faster than any Council observer had expected. As they traveled, humans encountered the first challenges of deep space. Asteroid fields drifted unpredictably, radiation storms surged across empty systems, and gravitational anomalies threatened to disrupt their navigation. Yet humans turned every danger into an advantage, using asteroid clusters as cover, calculating precise movements to avoid radiation spikes, and harnessing gravitational pulls to slingshot across distances. Their adaptability was remarkable, turning obstacles that would have halted other species into opportunities to gain speed and efficiency. Every crew member felt the thrill and fear of venturing where no one from Earth had gone before. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council observed with growing alarm. They had expected delays, errors, and hesitations, yet the humans moved with coordination and ingenuity beyond anything the Council had predicted. Every strategy they had calculated seemed useless against human unpredictability, and their confidence began to waver. Observers noted how humans anticipated potential problems before they occurred, adjusting tactics on the fly, a combination of planning, intuition, and improvisation that no artificial intelligence or fleet command could match. The Council members whispered to one another, realizing that they might have underestimated Earth in ways that could have serious consequences. The fleet approached the system from which the distress signal originated, ancient and long abandoned. Its planets were desolate, scarred by battles that had occurred centuries ago. Automated defense drones still patrolled, activating at any movement. Humans assessed the environment carefully, scanning for hazards, reading data from every sensor. They mapped the drone's patrol patterns, studied ancient ruins, and devised strategies to bypass or disable the automated defenses. Every decision was deliberate, precise, and efficient, minimizing risk while maximizing the chance of success. Humans encountered the first real engagement when a group of automated drones detected the fleet. Lasers and energy pulses cut across the void, but humans had anticipated this, diverting attacks with advanced shields, countermeasures, and rapid evasive maneuvers. They disabled drones without destroying them unnecessarily, preserving energy and avoiding unnecessary risks. Observers from the Council watched in disbelief, noting how humans combined strategy, skill, and improvisation to neutralize threats quickly and effectively. Every action demonstrated that humans were not only prepared, but had elevated problem-solving to an art form. The journey through the system tested humans' endurance. Their ships faced mechanical strain, navigation challenges, and constant alerts. Yet the crews remained focused, adjusting to every new obstacle with calm determination. Engineers monitored systems in real time, making repairs and optimizations while traveling at high speeds. Crew members shared duties seamlessly, rotating through watches, keeping alertness high while maintaining efficiency. Every moment demanded attention. Yet humans moved with a balance of discipline and creativity that no one had expected. Reaching the planet closest to the signal, humans finally understood the scale of the challenge. The civilization in distress had been advanced, yet its systems were damaged, automated defenses active, life support failing, and environmental hazards rampant. Humans combined reconnaissance, strategy, and technology to approach carefully, avoiding traps while identifying weak points. Their actions were deliberate, avoiding unnecessary risks while moving with urgency. They had trained for this moment, and their preparation allowed them to act decisively, transforming uncertainty into opportunity. The Council grew increasingly anxious, realizing that humans were succeeding where they had expected failure. Humans moved not as chaotic amateurs, but as calculated, adaptable, and courageous explorers, turning danger into advantage, their unpredictability their greatest strength. Every maneuver, every calculation, every decision revealed a species capable of independent, extraordinary action, far beyond the Council's expectations. By the time humans reached the heart of the signal, they had already demonstrated that Earth's underestimated species was capable of remarkable ingenuity, courage, and determination. As humans prepared to engage directly with the source of the distress signal, anticipation and tension filled every vessel. The unknown civilization's fate rested in their hands, and every crew member felt the weight of responsibility. Their journey had tested skill, endurance, and intellect. But it had also shown the limitless potential of human determination and innovation. The fleet, moving as one, symbolized not just technological advancement, but the human spirit, willing to venture into the unknown, overcome impossible odds, and answer a call that no one else dared to heed. Humanity had arrived, ready to face whatever awaited them. When humans finally reached the source of the distress signal, they found a civilization once grand now reduced to ruins. The planet's cities were empty, towers shattered, and streets silent. Automated defense drones patrolled the remnants, attacking anything that moved. Humans quickly assessed the situation, scanning every building, every ruin, and every system. They realized that the civilization had collapsed long ago, leaving only machines to guard the remains. But the machines followed old protocols without understanding the present, giving humans a chance to act intelligently and decisively. The first challenge was the automated drones, programmed to detect intruders and neutralize threats. Humans did not attack recklessly. They studied the drones' behavior, learning their patterns, predicting their movements, and finding weaknesses. With careful maneuvers, they disabled drones one by one, using electromagnetic pulses, hacking attempts, and precision strikes, avoiding unnecessary destruction. Every crew member worked in perfect coordination, sharing data instantly across the fleet. Their adaptability and patience allowed them to bypass the dangers that would have overwhelmed any other species. As they explored further, humans discovered valuable information about what had gone wrong. Ancient systems contained data logs, holographic records, and encrypted messages, showing how the civilization had been destroyed. Humans analyzed the data quickly, piecing together events and understanding the threats they might face. This intelligence allowed them to plan ahead, preventing mistakes and ensuring that each step they took brought them closer to completing their mission. Every discovery strengthened their resolve, and the team grew more confident in their ability to restore what remained. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council observed from afar, astonished at the humans' progress. They had assumed the automated defenses would halt any human approach, but Earth's species moved with ingenuity and precision. Using strategy rather than brute force, humans neutralized dangers efficiently, preserving resources while achieving objectives. The Council began to realize that humans were not just surviving. They were mastering a situation that no one had expected them to handle. Their courage, intelligence, and adaptability made them a threat to the established order, and the Council's confidence wavered. Inside the ruined cities, humans found systems that could still be restored, life support modules, communication arrays, and energy cores, damaged but salvageable. They divided their teams, assigning specialists to repair, hack, and stabilize systems. Every action was measured, deliberate, and efficient, Balancing speed with caution, engineers worked with creativity, improvising tools and methods to bring the ancient systems back online. Their efforts were synchronized, ensuring that every repair complemented the others. Humans were not simply reacting, they were actively reshaping the environment to suit their mission. The humans encountered moments of danger that tested their skills. Traps, failing systems, and unexpected malfunctions threatened the mission. But every obstacle was met with innovation and quick thinking. Crew members adapted in real time, using knowledge, intuition, and experience to turn challenges into advantages. Even when the odds seemed against them, humans remained calm, coordinated, and unyielding. Their determination showed that intelligence combined with courage could overcome hazards far greater than mere physical force. As repairs progressed, the civilization's systems slowly came back to life. Lights flickered on in abandoned structures, energy flowed through ancient conduits, and communication networks reconnected. The humans had revived fragments of a society thought lost forever. Their success demonstrated not only technical skill, but also strategic thinking, foresight, and an understanding of complex systems. They had answered the call with precision, courage, and ingenuity, restoring hope where none remained. Throughout the operation, teamwork and coordination defined every moment. Each human contributed, sharing knowledge, providing support, and adapting to rapidly changing circumstances. The mission was not about individuals. It was about a species working as one, transforming chaos into order, turning decay into functionality. Their actions reflected the very best of humanity: creativity, resilience, and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. The Galactic Council, watching silently, could only record what they saw. Humans had approached a situation no one expected them to handle, faced dangers that would have defeated others, and succeeded where even the most advanced civilizations might have failed. The Council realized that Earth's species was unpredictable, clever, and capable of extraordinary achievements, and they began to understand that their assumptions about humans had been dangerously wrong. By the time humans completed the rescue, the planet was no longer a silent ruin. Energy and systems were stabilized. Defensive drones were neutralized, and communication networks allowed the faint echoes of civilization to continue. Humans had not only survived, they had succeeded, proving that preparation, intelligence, courage, and teamwork could overcome almost anything. Their actions had changed the fate of an entire civilization, showing that when humanity chooses to act, no challenge is too great. The distress signal had been answered, and humans had risen to meet it. The Galactic Council, shocked by humans' success at the ruined planet, quickly decided to intervene directly. They dispatched fleets of enormous ships with advanced weaponry, expecting that brute force would easily contain the humans. Their confidence was immense, as they had never encountered a species that could match their fleets or challenge their authority. Yet they underestimated humans once again, believing that sheer numbers and technology alone could determine the outcome. As the Council's fleet approached, humans anticipated the move. Their intelligence and preparation allowed them to predict the Council's actions with remarkable accuracy. They had studied alien tactics, fleet formations, and battle strategies, creating countermeasures for every possible scenario. Every human-controlled vessel was ready to respond instantly, using a combination of speed, agility, and technology to outmaneuver a far larger and more experienced enemy. The first engagement began when Council ships opened fire, energy beams cutting through space toward the human fleet. Humans reacted immediately, deploying shields, countermeasures, and evasive maneuvers. Their ships moved with coordination that was almost instinctive, adjusting positions constantly to avoid fire while finding openings in the enemy lines. AI-assisted systems provided real-time analysis, but it was human creativity and intuition that allowed the fleet to adapt faster than any programmed strategy could. Tactics used by humans were unconventional and unpredictable. They feigned weaknesses to lure Council ships into traps, created illusions to confuse targeting systems, and struck from unexpected directions. Every maneuver demonstrated their ability to combine careful planning with improvisation, turning danger into opportunity. They neutralized multiple ships without engaging in unnecessary destruction, conserving resources while maximizing efficiency. Observers from the Council could hardly believe what they were seeing. Humans were rewriting the rules of space combat, showing that strategy and ingenuity could overcome overwhelming odds. As the battle continued, humans demonstrated extraordinary resilience. Their fleet absorbed damage, repaired systems in real time, and maintained focus under constant pressure. Crew members rotated quickly, staying alert, coordinated, and calm. Each decision was made with precision, adapting to the changing dynamics of the fight. Even when faced with advanced alien weapons and massive energy attacks, humans refused to panic, turning even potential setbacks into advantages through creativity and decisive action. The Council attempted to overwhelm the humans with sheer force, sending wave after wave of attack, but the humans remained unpredictable. Their combination of tactical brilliance and courage kept the enemy off balance. They struck where no one expected, used environmental hazards to their advantage, and manipulated the battlefield in ways that the Council had never considered. Every victory reinforced human confidence, proving that numbers alone could not defeat a species capable of thinking differently. In the midst of the battle, humans also focused on rescuing the civilization they had come to save. Even under attack, they balanced defense with objectives, protecting life support systems, repairing critical infrastructure, and stabilizing the environment. They prioritized intelligence, strategy, and preservation over destruction, showing that their purpose was not conquest but compassion and problem-solving. Their ability to manage multiple objectives simultaneously highlighted a level of coordination and maturity far beyond what the Council expected. Communication and teamwork were critical. Humans relied on instant information sharing, trust in their crew, and coordinated actions across vast distances. No single individual was acting alone, but each contributed to the success of the fleet. Their unity allowed them to respond to Council tactics in real time, adapting faster than any alien commander could predict. This cohesion became their greatest strength, transforming potential chaos into a highly effective operation. By the end of the engagement, the Council's fleet had suffered significant losses. Confused, frustrated, and humbled, the alien leaders realized that humans were not only capable of surviving impossible situations, but excelling in them. They had underestimated the species' creativity, adaptability, and determination. The humans had turned a battle that seemed unwinnable into a demonstration of intelligence, courage, and unbreakable spirit. As the humans completed their victory, the rescued civilization began to stabilize, thanks to the careful planning and decisive action of the fleet. The Council could only observe in stunned silence, forced to acknowledge that Earth's species had proven itself in ways no one had anticipated. The humans had not only achieved their mission, but had shown that ingenuity, teamwork, and courage could overcome forces far more powerful. Their success challenged the very assumptions that the Council had long held about dominance, control, and strategy. In the aftermath of the battle, humans remained focused, ensuring the safety of the planet and the restored civilization. They repaired what they could, neutralized lingering threats, and organized resources efficiently. Their actions reflected intelligence, adaptability, and compassion, rather than just brute force. Every step proved that humans could act decisively, think creatively, and respond effectively to challenges that others deemed impossible. Humanity had faced the Council's wrath, survived, and emerged stronger, leaving a clear message across the stars. When humans act, they do so with ingenuity, courage, and unyielding determination. Through a combination of intelligence, preparation, and courage, humans completed the mission successfully. The ruined civilization began to recover under their careful guidance. Energy systems restored, communication networks reactivated, and life support stabilized. Every action was precise, efficient, and thoughtful, avoiding unnecessary risks while maximizing the chances of survival and restoration. Humans had not only reached the planet, but had rewritten what was possible, proving that even a species considered weak by the galaxy could achieve greatness. The Galactic Council watched in stunned silence, forced to acknowledge that their assumptions about humans had been completely wrong. They had expected hesitation, mistakes, and failure, but instead, humans had displayed creativity, strategic thinking, and courage beyond any measure the Council had predicted. Their fleets, once considered inferior, had maneuvered with precision, outsmarting larger and more advanced alien ships. Every observer realized that humans were not only capable of survival, but could triumph against overwhelming odds. Humans worked tirelessly to restore the planet's systems, dividing their teams to manage multiple objectives simultaneously. Engineers repaired damaged structures, scientists stabilized environmental hazards, and strategists ensured that every action contributed to long-term sustainability. They worked together seamlessly, sharing information, anticipating challenges, and adapting quickly to new developments. Even when faced with unexpected obstacles, humans improvised, demonstrating problem-solving skills that no alien technology could match. Their success relied not on brute force, but on intelligence, cooperation, and determination. Meanwhile, the rescued civilization began to awaken, confused and cautious at first, but gradually recognizing the humans' role in their survival. They observed as humans reactivated power grids, repaired transport systems, and re-established communication channels. The alien species could hardly believe their eyes, witnessing beings from a small, overlooked planet acting with such skill, precision, and purpose. Humans did not impose control or demand obedience. They simply restored what had been lost and ensured the survival of those in need, demonstrating a level of moral and strategic intelligence that was rare in the galaxy. The Council struggled to process what they were witnessing. Their confidence shattered. They realized that their entire understanding of human potential had been flawed. Humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and capable of rapid, intelligent decisions, qualities that could not be calculated or contained. Every action the humans took emphasized foresight, creativity, and teamwork, showing that even a smaller, less technologically advanced species could overcome challenges that the galaxy considered insurmountable. The Council's authority and assumptions were quietly undermined by humans' accomplishments. As humans continued their work, they encountered remnants of old defenses and hazardous systems left behind by the fallen civilization. Automated drones, collapsing infrastructure, and failing energy grids created constant challenges, yet humans approached each problem methodically. Using both technology and ingenuity, they neutralized threats, repaired critical systems, and ensured stability. Every success reinforced their confidence, proving that preparation, intelligence, and adaptability could conquer even the most hostile environment. The planet slowly transformed from a silent ruin into a functioning, safe, and habitable world once again. The unity of the human fleet was remarkable. Each individual contributed, from engineers and pilots to strategists and scientists. Every skill was utilized, and every decision supported the larger mission. Coordination and trust allowed humans to act as one, turning complexity into a manageable system. This teamwork became their greatest strength, enabling them to accomplish tasks far beyond what any individual could achieve alone. Their collective effort highlighted the essence of humanity's power: collaboration, creativity, and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. As the mission reached its final stages, humans ensured that the civilization they had saved could continue independently, leaving systems stable, resources accessible, and defenses functional. They did not stay longer than necessary, knowing that their role was to empower, not dominate. Their careful planning and execution had achieved the impossible, and the rescued species now had a chance to rebuild, learn, and thrive once again. The humans had acted with precision, courage, and purpose, turning a distant distress signal into a triumph of intelligence and determination. The Galactic Council, forced to watch silently, could only recognize the extraordinary achievements of humanity. They had underestimated a species they had considered insignificant. Yet humans had outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outlasted challenges that seemed insurmountable. Their victory was not only technical, but symbolic, proving that creativity, strategy, and unyielding will could surpass size, power, and experience. The Council began to understand that humans were a species unlike any other, capable of changing the balance of power across the galaxy. By the time humans departed, the planet was safe, functional, and alive once more. Their mission complete, they left behind not just restored systems, but a lasting legacy, demonstrating that intelligence, courage, and determination could overcome any obstacle. Humanity had answered a call that no one else dared, and in doing so, they had transformed both a civilization and the perception of their species. Their success resonated across the galaxy, leaving an indelible mark on history, proving that when humans act, even the impossible becomes achievable. Back on Earth, humans quietly celebrated their achievement. The mission had been a success beyond imagination, and yet they avoided grand displays, knowing that subtlety and discretion were often the best strategies in a galaxy full of watchers. The fleet returned home, ships moving through space with the same precision and care they had shown throughout the journey. Every crew member carried with them a sense of pride and accomplishment, aware that they had not only saved a civilization, but also challenged the assumptions of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. The rescued civilization slowly began to rebuild, their systems stabilized, energy grids functioning, and cities gradually coming back to life. They studied the humans' methods, learning how intelligence, strategy, and teamwork could overcome impossible odds. Gratitude was expressed in subtle ways, messages of thanks traveling across space, reminding humans that their efforts had made a profound difference. The alien species realized that survival and recovery were possible not through brute force, but through careful planning, ingenuity, and the courage to act when no one else would. The Galactic Council, observing from afar, felt the weight of their misjudgment. Humans had proven themselves in ways the Council had never anticipated. Their unpredictable strategies, resourcefulness, and determination challenged centuries of assumptions. Every observer had to acknowledge that Earth's species was no longer insignificant. Their actions had rewritten what the Council believed was possible, forcing alien civilizations to reconsider how they viewed humanity. The Council had expected chaos and failure, yet what they witnessed was coordination, creativity, and bravery beyond their comprehension. On Earth, teams debriefed, analyzed, and refined their methods. Even after returning from space, the lessons learned were invaluable, showing that preparation, intelligence, and adaptability could succeed against seemingly insurmountable odds. Humans discussed every maneuver, every decision, and every outcome, ensuring that knowledge would be retained for future missions. This reflection strengthened humanity further, preparing them to act even more effectively the next time the galaxy called for courage and ingenuity. Across the galaxy, whispers began to circulate about the small, underestimated species from Earth. Once considered primitive and weak, humans were now recognized as a force to be reckoned with. Their actions had demonstrated a unique combination of intelligence, resourcefulness, and bravery, qualities that could not be easily measured or controlled. Other civilizations began studying humans, observing patterns of thinking, improvisation, and collaboration. Realizing that unpredictability could be humanity's greatest advantage. A species so overlooked had become an example of what determination and creativity could achieve. Humanity's journey had not been about conquest or glory, but about action, problem-solving, and compassion. They had approached the mission with care, ensuring that lives were saved, systems restored, and knowledge preserved. Every decision reflected thoughtfulness and courage, showing that power could take many forms, and that intellect, coordination, and adaptability could be more potent than overwhelming force. Humans had proven that they could respond effectively to crises, even when others doubted their ability. The impact of their actions rippled through both space and time. The galaxy had seen a species rise to challenges that others had dismissed, turning what seemed impossible into reality. The rescued civilization thrived, empowered by the humans' guidance, while the Galactic Council reconsidered their strategies, forced to account for a species they had long underestimated. Humanity's success had rewritten expectations, proving that courage, innovation, and collaboration could alter the course of events on a galactic scale. As humans returned to everyday life on Earth, the lessons of the mission remained. They carried with them the knowledge that intelligence, preparation, and determination were more powerful than assumptions or fear. The team's experience strengthened bonds between individuals, nations, and disciplines, fostering cooperation and understanding that would guide future endeavors. Humanity had become not only a savior to one civilization, but a symbol across the stars, showing that when humans act decisively, no challenge is too great, no mission impossible. The Galactic Council, humbled and silent, watched as humans resumed life on Earth. They had been forced to acknowledge that size, power, and experience alone could not define capability. A species that had once been overlooked had proven its ingenuity and courage, changing how the galaxy viewed Earth forever. Humans had acted with intelligence, compassion, and adaptability, creating a legacy that would influence civilizations for generations. The echoes of that distress signal became more than a call for help. They became a testament to what humanity could achieve when it chose to act. In the quiet aftermath, humans continued to prepare for the future, aware that the galaxy was vast and challenges would arise again. They strengthened their fleets, refined their strategies, and trained new generations, ensuring that the lessons learned would not be lost. The story of their mission spread quietly at first, then more widely, inspiring awe, respect, and even fear across distant systems. Humanity had answered a call no one else could, and in doing so, they had shown that determination, intelligence, and courage could reshape the galaxy. The legend of Earth's response would be remembered for ages, a reminder that when humans choose to act, the universe itself must take notice.